Okay, welcome back to the channel. You're with Reverend Dr. J.W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. We're speaking on the subject of denial, mental forfeit, when we just forfeit out of life in a way in which our behaviour betrays us. And if we just look at ourselves and come out of this psychological denial, the denial that comes upon us through our sinful nature, our sinful nature wants to defeat us and destroy us. The Bible clearly tells us this. And I guess it comes down to whether you want to believe it or not. At the end of the day, there is a nature that works inside us, trying to destroy us, trying to make us make wrong decisions, wants us to be addicted, wants to be destroying, helping us contribute to our own destruction. It's a rebel, the rebel against ourselves and everything around us. It makes us position ourselves in wrong places. It makes us act in ways that we don't need to and shouldn't. It's cunning, it's smart, it schemes, it works in here constantly 24/7. We can't compete with it. We can't outsmart it. It will run us down and wear us down. It can cause depression, anxiety. It can make us nasty towards other people, and cunning and corrupt towards other people and ourselves. See, all harm starts with ourselves. Okay? All harm starts with ourselves. Jesus was in the synagogue where goodness is supposed to be coming from, and it's gotten to the point where he spotted a person with a deformed hand. Okay, now the Lord's there for all our deformities, and we've all got them, and it starts with our sinful nature, which is the biggest enemy of all. And Jesus said to the man, the person with the deformed hand, "Come and stand in front of everyone." Now this is interesting, viewers, because when it comes to addictions and alcoholism and medication, when we go out into society, we know how to anchor it, nun it, hide it, make it solitaire, ascetic. We know how to monk it and be a hermit. We can go out and function, but not the way that we should. We're recluse. We become recluse. And Jesus has done the opposite here. He's gone, come on, let's bring this out in the open. Let's be transparent about this. Come and stand in front of everyone. Well, let me make it a little bit easier for you. Why don't you start by standing in front of yourself? Come to yourself. Come back to your senses. You know inside that you need to get this stuff sorted out. You know that you can do it and that it's not all going to be that bad. It's going to cause some pain for a while. But if you can get out of the denial and the mental forfeit, stop forfeiting and come out in front of yourself, bring it all out. And then he turned to his critics. You see, viewers, this is what you've got to understand. There's a self-critic. Let's start with the self-critic, the critic on the inside. You can't do this, no, that won't work. Quick, get a drink. No, have a tablet. Hang on a sec, no. Get the smoko. Oh no, I'll have a durry. And that forfeits you from moving forward in the direction towards your healing. See, we've got external critics, and that's just going to happen. That's just the way life works, and they're going to wear you down. But it's the inner critic, the self-critic, that's the hard one, the one that comes from within. You know, listen, it says this in Proverbs 25:23. Like a north wind that brings unexpected rain is a sly tongue, which provokes a horrified look. You see, it's the tongue of our carnal nature that makes us look upon ourselves horrifically. we see the horrified side of ourselves, and it horrifies us. And we become, the biggest critic is the critic of ourselves. As surely as a north wind brings rain, so a gossiping tongue causes anger, and we get angry at ourselves. We start to natter to ourselves. It's the internal dialogue going on. I'm not worthy. I have no... You can't do that. All the self-criticism. And we get angry. And when we get angry, we get frustrated. And what do we do when we get frustrated? We forfeit. We turn to the drink. We turn to the tablets. We turn to the weed. We turn to the cocaine. We turn to sex. Reckless sex. The north wind brings forth rain, and a backbiting tongue, angry looks. When you get caught in backbiting, when you're backbiting somebody else, let alone yourself, it's just going to cause anger all around. And this is what happens, particularly in relationships. We start to backbite our partner, and we're getting off subject, but there's going to be critics, right? Left, right, and centre. And Jesus says, does the law permit good deeds on the Sabbath, or is it a day for doing evil? Is this a day to save life or destroy it? You see, when it all comes down to it, ladies and gentlemen, laws don't mean anything. Rules don't mean anything if it's about doing good for somebody. What do you mean? If somebody's in the back of an ambulance, or the police need to get to an accident really quick because it's fatal or somebody's going to die, what happens? They switch on the sirens and they push through the traffic. Everybody has to step aside. And that's what Jesus is saying. Step aside. This is about bringing good to somebody. We are not in the business of destroying people, but this is the thing. There's a side to us. There's a side in all of us. And the people, critics around us, and the accusers and all these, the self-accusing and the inner critic that we have and the ones around us, they want evil to come on us. They want evil to destroy us. Okay? And it's up to us to realize that the ambulances come through in the spirit. The police are moving around in the spirit, trying to line things up for you. The Holy Spirit's trying to, on a day-by-day basis, save your life. Now, when you confront these people, this is what happens. In the physical, they go into stonewalling. They jam up. They're paralyzed. Because the truth of the fact of the matter is, you have every right to heal and to recover and to be a better person and to feel better. But they don't want you to. That's why passive-aggressive, and this is showing you from ancient times how passive-aggressive behavior works in the form of silence. When you're in a relationship and you end it, or you're possibly with somebody that's ghosting you, or something's happened, it shows you that they didn't want good for you. The underlying substance in the relationship wasn't for good. You were being planned against. You were being accused. This is all... Look, guys, if you want the key to what's going on behind your back, this is what's going on behind your back. You're being spoken about, accused. You've got criticism going on behind your back. You've got smear campaigns happening, little skirmish smear campaigns happening between the people that don't like you. But this is why you don't bother with them. This is why you don't go into trying to solve anything with people that just don't like you. I'll tell you why. Because for all their planning, for all their accusing, for all them wanting you to be deformed because they're deformed, for all their criticism, guys, for all of the mental destruction that they're trying to bring upon you, and physical if they can, when it comes down to it, they got nothing. They got nothing. If you've given these people no reason to have anything against you, and they're just deciding that they want to, into delusion and mental denial, and because they want to forfeit, and you're now standing up, you've come and you're prepared to stand in front of everybody and go, you know what? I don't want my deformed habits anymore. I don't want my deformed alcohol anymore. I don't want all this causing me to have reckless sex. I want a proper relationship. I want a well thought out, caring relationship. I don't want to be in denial and mentally forfeit anymore. I'm telling everybody, and you know what? They're just going to stand there and punish you. They're psychologically, by the worst form of passive aggression, which is silence, stonewalling, they're going to go quiet. Viewers, this is how it works. You will stand alone if you're about to take a step to play into your healing. They won't answer. They won't encourage you. Many of you people have experienced this, and you're sitting there with bong in hand, cigarette in hand, maybe alcohol and tablets, and you know in the back of your mind the people that you're around aren't prepared to support you to heal, and you've given into it. And it's just silence. Everybody's just walking around with this dull, sullen, horrible form of silence that's just ruining everybody. Nobody's resolving anything. See here how there's no resolve, but they wouldn't answer him. That's silence. That's unresolved. That's not forging forward into the person getting their mind fixed, their life fixed. The critics, the people planning and accusing and scheming in their spirit, that don't want to lose their deformities. There's people that say, this is my anxiety, this is my depression. No, you don't own that stuff. That's not a part of you. That's just a thing that happens to you that you can work on and fix. But nah, they don't answer anything. You know why they don't answer anything? Because they don't want the healing. They want to stay deformed. When you challenge a partner for their behaviour or what's going on and this and that, triangulation, abuse, whatever it is, if they don't ever say anything, if you give them closure and they just don't say anything, you've caught them out. In the back of their mind, they are accusing you. In the back of their mind, they are criticising you. They don't care if you get good or evil or what happens. They're definitely not going to speak up. And if people aren't speaking up and they're in passive, you know what it is? A serial, malicious passive aggression. Silence can be taken so far as that. Some of the worst damage I've seen to people has been through silence. They won't communicate. That's why you know when a relationship's coming to an end and bad things are happening behind your back. When people go silent. They got no interest in your mental health or welfare. They don't want you to reform. They want you to stay deformed or try and deform you. Depends where you're at in life and how switched on you are. You can bring these people out of deformation into reformation, and the critics and the people accusing and planning and working in passive aggressive, manipulative, serial, destructive mode can bring these people back into deformation. They lose their reformation. And it's really, really sad. Viewers, if you look at Proverbs 27:17, iron sharpens iron, and so one man sharpens another. These are the people that you want to be around. Iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. You're going to be around people that will make you blunt. That's the accusers, the critics, the enemies. They just want you to be blunt. They want you to be deformed. They don't want you to be sharpened and reformed. You've got to understand this. But then there's people that do want to make the effort and put in the time and lead by example to help you reform. They're not bothered with being enemies of people. They're not bothered with watching people fail. See? They're not planning against people's health and happiness. They think you are because that's what they're doing themselves. Don't buy into it. Just walk away from it. Stand in, sometimes the person that you're trying to help just has to stand up in front of everyone and go, for Christ's sake, leave me alone. For the sake of the Lord, leave me alone. I'm trying to be healed. And you know what? They'll just sit there. They'll sit there mute. And I've done this with partners. I've had enough of the abuse. You're not obviously wanting to heal or fix anything. You can't fix anything in a triangulated situation anyway, because it shouldn't be triangulated. That's just a sign of absolute dysfunction and disrespect. And these people really ain't going to say anything at the end of the day anyway, because there's nothing wrong except their delusion, except their attitude, the way in which they don't want people to reform. They want them to stay deformed. So he looked around at them angrily, and you do get angry. I said to a couple of girlfriends that I split up with, I'm at the point where I'm just angry, which is dark triad, and I'm deeply saddened by the hardened hearts of the people that are whinging and complaining and making up stuff. I'm tired of people mentally forfeiting and just being in denial and trying to put that on me that you're involved with. It's just not necessary. And they'll push it until you got nothing left. And it's not fair, and it's not. And if you're doing this to somebody and you get dumped or dropped, that's on you. You need to come into your relationship with every constitution that you have to help that person to be healthy and whole, not trying to navigate idiots in the background that are trying to ruin everything blatantly, and this person that you're with doesn't know which way to turn. That's showing you that they're partly in with the people that are against you. You can't trust somebody like that. Then he said to the man, "Hold out your hand." And so the man held out his hand, and it was restored. At once the Pharisees went away. See, look, here goes your destroyers. And I've told women this, they'll go away. Went away and met with the supporters of Herod to plot how to kill Jesus. See, number one, they wouldn't answer. And number two, whether you resolve things with them or not, they're not going to stop. Viewers, don't get involved with family members or adult children or people. If you're in a relationship with somebody with children and their families around, they're not going to stop. Once they don't like you, they're going to play passive aggression, serial passive aggression, and then they're just going to continue behind your back, covertly trying to plot ways in which they can destroy your relationship. Be aware, this is massive. Don't be in denial and mentally forfeit. Be as strong as you can. Allow yourself to reform. And stand in front of everybody and show them, I'm going to go on and become better. I'm going to go on and be whole. I don't want this anymore. I don't want to be this anymore. I know that I can come out of this and find myself with the time that I've got left in life. I don't want to waste my life anymore. I want to be the best that I can. I don't want to waste my money anymore. I want to be able to make the right decisions and get this right for myself. And if you want to follow, you can. And if you don't want to follow, too bad. And make a move. Turn to God. He's been waiting for you the whole time. He said, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock." And not only that, there are people that want you to heal. They're prepared to do the iron, sharpening the iron, and helping you to sharpen and restore. These people are there waiting like Jesus is, and helping you, and the Holy Spirit's with you now. He's been there the whole time as well. Allow Christ to give you the strength and courage to stand up in front of yourself and say, yeah, I'm going to reach out my hand to God, and Jesus and His Spirit are going to heal me. And the friends around me that really care, they're going to heal me as well. They're going to help me heal as well. I'm going to get out of this. And those that are plotting against me, those that are using me and leeching on me and just wasting me, nah. I'm going to just let them go, and I'm going to go in my reformation. I'm going to recover. I'm going to live out the rest of my life as best as I can. Viewers, this is Dr. J.W. Morrison, Theologist, New South Wales, Australia. 100% you can do it. Bye for now.